Hello and welcome. It's Sally, your IELTS teacher at West London Tuition Academy. And of course, we are talking about IELTS. So today I have a little lesson for you on an important topic to help you guys get a great score in your IELTS. So what is it? Let's have a look. How to structure an essay for writing part 2 of the exam. So let's head straight in and see what we can do. All right, guys. Well, I am going to ask you some questions today. I want to see if you can answer this question, for example. Have a look at these 4 essay shapes. Which one looks like a good IELTS essay for writing task 2? What do you think? A, B, C, or D? Which one looks good to you? Did you say C? I hope you did, because C is the one that is the good, has a good structure. You've obviously got an introduction with your thesis statement. I'll let you know what that is in a little moment if you don't already know. You have got 2 paragraphs in the body of the essay, and you have a conclusion. Okay, so let's just look at the other ones. What is wrong with them? Can you figure out what is wrong with essay 1? Well, it's not an essay. If it doesn't have paragraphs, it's not an essay. You absolutely have to have a paragraph in essays. B, wow, too many, way too many paragraphs. There's probably only a sentence in each paragraph, and 1 sentence does not make a paragraph either. So that's no good. So yuck for that one, no for that one. Well, D is beginning to look a little better. You've got obviously an introductory paragraph, you've got a conclusion paragraph, but you've only got 1 paragraph for the body of the text. So maybe if there's only 1 argument, it's not a good essay, or maybe 2 arguments are mixed up in the same paragraph. It's also confusing and it's not really a good practice. Okay. So I did mention thesis statement. What is a thesis statement? Does anyone know? Well, let's read the definition together. The thesis statement is 1 or 2 sentences which state your essay's main point, main idea, or main message. So your paper or your essay thesis statement will be addressed and defended in the body paragraphs and the conclusion. Okay, so that is what a thesis statement. Any essay that you're doing, an academic essay, needs to have a thesis statement. Otherwise, we don't know what the essay is about. We don't know what your position is, and it becomes very confused. So let's go on to a few more questions with you. Let me just have a look at these ones. Which of these structures is good and what's wrong with the other ones? Have a look, have a read through. A, you've got thesis statement, background information, argument 4, argument 4, argument 4, and conclusion 4. You've got B, the same introduction, but you've got argument, you've got background information and then your thesis statement. You've got your argument 4, arguments against, and a conclusion, which is 4. Okay. C, you've got your background information. The next paragraph is argument 4 and against, argument 4 and against in the paragraph after that, and the conclusion, also 4 and against. And finally, you've got your D, your thesis statement, your argument against, your argument for, your argument against, and your conclusion against. Which one is the best structure? What do you think? Shout it out. Tell me. Yes, it is, of course, B. This is a very nice structure to an essay. You start off with your background information. You have your thesis statement, which tells you what the argument that you believe is. You have a couple of paragraphs which support what you believe. Of course, you put the other argument, the counter argument, and of course, your conclusion should be the one that you believe, which is the arguments for. Okay, well done, guys. Let's look at these true or false questions now. So tell me, do you think they're true or false? Question A, you should choose a side in an argument. Is that true or false? Yes, well done if you said true. Yes, do choose an argument. Essays in IELTS are usually asking for your opinion, and therefore you need to choose a side of the argument. All right, it helps with structure. It helps to show that you can answer a question logically and coherently, which is two very important marks. Okay. B, you should not give your opinion. True or false? What do we think? Well done if you said no, it's false. No, always give your opinion. Your opinion should be stated in the introduction. It's called your thesis statement. What about C? Your position should be clear right from the start. You got it. It's true. Yes, absolutely. This helps, as I said, with the logical progression of your essay. What about D? You will be penalized if you write over the word limit. What do we think? Ah, okay. No, you will not. That's false. You will not be penalized. You will not lose marks if you write over the limit, but you will if you write under the limit. And what is the word limit for essay 2 IELTS? Do you know? Yes, of course, the word limit is 2, or the word that we have to get more than is 250 words. So you have to write at least 250 words or you will lose points. If you don't know every single part of the IELTS exam, watch one of my earlier videos where I talk about the whole of the IELTS exam. You need to know exactly what each part involves. Okay. What about E then? You shouldn't think about your conclusion until the end. True or false? Yes, again, it's false. Of course, you have to think about your conclusion, your side of the argument right at the beginning. And then you can use it to make sure that your essay makes sense all the way through. And finally, plan your structure if you have time. Well, this is false. Always plan your structure. Always, not just if you have time. Just plan your structure, yeah? That is the most important thing, because that will help you to make sure that your essay makes sense and is coherent and logical. And that is what you will be marked on in essay writing part 2 of the IELTS. So yeah, a good essay is like a Greek temple. The conclusion stands on the strength of the rest of the argument. The body paragraphs should lead to the conclusion. They need to be strong, balanced, and well built. And they should not be too long or too short. And the introduction must include the thesis statement, which is the foundation of your essay. It tells the reader where the argument stands, where the temple stands. So that's a good analogy to think about a good essay. All right, let's just have a little go now to correct some sentences. So in this writing, I will show. What's wrong? Can you correct that sentence? Not in this writing. It's a very standard phrase. So it's a fixed expression. So make sure you memorize it correctly. In this essay or in this argument, I will show. Okay, good. This essay will show the advantages and disadvantages to have one more TV. What's wrong? Does anyone know? Yes, it's the advantages and disadvantages of having. We need the gerund here. Make sure your grammar's right. Humans should not buy things that are bad for their kids. What's wrong with this? Do you know? Well, it's the register. You know, this is an academic essay. So, well, humans is wrong anyway. It would obviously be parents or guardians. And we don't use the word kids in these kinds of essays because they are academic. It's a formal type of writing. So we would use the word children. Okay, well done if you got that. Despite of the benefits. What's wrong? Can you correct this sentence? Do you know? Again, it's the wrong fixed expression. It's neither despite of, no, despite the benefits of, etc. Okay, so let's try one more. Our life in this century are changing. What's wrong with this sentence? Do you know? Yes, well done. It's the plurals. Our life obviously is singular. So our life in this century is changing. Well done. Did you see that? Having more than one TV is good because girls like fashion and cooking shows and boys like to watch sport and action movies. What's wrong with this sentence? Yeah, it's overgeneralization, you know, it's not very academic, is it? Because overgeneralization is leading to sexism in this point, you know. So let's try one more. Oof. What about this? Correct this sentence. The overuse of TVs and technology can cause eyesight problems like redness, bad vision, or decrease the amount of sleep and also exercise, which leads to problems like obesity and artery disease and laziness. And sitting in front of the TV means that you are not going to be getting enough social interaction or intellectual stimuli. And actually, it can make you feel very depressed or just unhappy. And so therefore, we need to set up some limitations, especially for our children who are watching too much TV nowadays and fat. What's wrong? Any ideas? Some good ideas in there, but there's a problem. Do you know it? Oof, lack of punctuation. Here, the student should slow down and think about the sentence before writing, all right? It's not a bad piece of writing, but yeah, no punctuation. It's impossible to read, really. So guys, that was just a little idea about how you should structure your IELTS writing task 2. And if you would like to find out more, if you would like to find out about our online IELTS courses and how to register, have a look, contact us via email, WhatsApp, and subscribe to this channel. I'm going to have lots more videos, tips, and advice to help you get a great score in your IELTS. So take care, everyone, and see you next time. Bye.